Now, ahead of this year's COP, Bloomberg Intelligence has also reached out to over 200 C-suite executives and investors to take really the pulse of ESG market sentiment. Now, we're now joined, I'm delighted to say, by the report's author, Adeline Diab, who's also Chief ESG Strategist at Bloomberg Intelligence. So, Adeline, congratulations to you and your team to actually really putting this amazing survey together. The question is ESG dead or not? How did people answer?
So ESG is definitely not dead. With the recent backlash dominating the news, we wanted to cut through the noise and really ask markets their perception and priorities about ESG. So this is why we conducted this global survey, Bloomberg Intelligence ESG Market Navigator. And this reveals that basically ESG has become a backbone to both financial markets and corporate strategy. 85% of investors see ESG leading to better returns, more resilient portfolios, and enhanced fundamental analysis. 84% of corporates see ESG helping to articulate stronger corporate strategy and actually take into account in their M&A plans.
Is there a concern, though, I guess, in this geopolitical context where it's extremely fluid, it's extremely concerning, there's two wars that actually it's taking a back step compared to some of the geopolitical issues?
So, yeah, geopolitical and macro risks have been two risks ranked by investors and corporates as reasons that may deter them from their ESG plans. However, the long-term agenda remains intact. 85% of both investors and corporates plan to boost their ESG investments and assets under management, their capex and spending. We expect 3 times more investors to increase their ESG research budget by 20%. Both groups really are pursuing ESG in a bid to improve profit, brand value and competitiveness.
So, Adeline, at the same time, is it now just much more acceptable to invest in fossil fuel?
So that's a good question. And 60% actually of investors recognize that it has become more acceptable to invest in fossil fuels due to the energy risks, security risks that have emerged over the past 18 months. But the survey also reveals that energy transition is top of mind. 70% of executives really see energy transition as a competitive advantage that also gives them access to cheaper financing, access to capital that is key, and all the scrutiny that is associated to that is worth the commitment. And actually 81% of executives fear losing market value and activism if they fail on articulating a strong energy transition plan.
That's really interesting. What are you expecting from COP? So you'll be traveling to COP. I mean, there's expectations are not actually very high, but there's also a lot of stuff that needs to be done to lay the groundwork for them for the future.
Yeah, I guess what to watch for really. So I would say climate has went from a fringe concern to becoming mainstream, to becoming mandatory over the past decade. But now it's really about accountability, and that's what I would watch for this year. And I would make 2 points. One is energy transition plans, which you just touched on. According to our survey, only 57% of executives believe that they will reach their net zero targets, and 67% believe their peers will not reach their net zero targets. So it's very important for corporates to focus on articulating those transition plans. But the second point is that to deliver this accountability, the investor-corporate dialogue will be key.
Yeah.
And according to our survey, 60% of investors are asking questions and holding companies to account, and 40% of executives admit facing ESG and climate questions on half of their investor calls. So this is strong reasons to be optimistic.
Adeline, thank you so much for everything and a wonderful survey, and we'll catch you, of course, in COP to see what the latest survey will tell us. Now, Adeline Diab from Bloomberg Intelligence.